Hello, hello. How are you tonight? As you get here, make sure that you say hello and let me know you're here. It's a full moon. It's nice and cool. Quite chilly, as a matter of fact, here in Georgia. Now, chilly to me might be different than what other people feel is chilly, but it feels chilly to me. All right, and so give me a moment while I pull this up on my phone. Let me set this up real quick. All right. And one more thing. Matter of fact, here in Georgia. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, hello, hello. Good to see you, Wendy. I know you haven't said hello yet, but I can see you there. Let me make sure everything is still there. We go. Beautiful. All right. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Vicki Poole. I'm a master transformational coach and board certified hypnotist, and your guide for gently unraveling the beliefs that sound like logic but feel like grief. Good evening, Wendy. Good evening. Great to see you. So, we've reached day 10 of this powerful 11-day series, and today's belief, I alluded to it yesterday. I told you at the end what it was, but if you weren't there, it doesn't always show up loudly. It's not, right? Sometimes it hides in silence, in the pause before saying yes to a new dream. In the moment you scroll by someone living a life that looks like it passed you by. And when we're scrolling, remember that's not necessarily true. So let's say it out, because unspoken, this one really festers underneath. So limiting belief number 10, it's too late for me. On our way back to freezing Miami Beach for a week. All right. And then you go back out. Wendy is amazing. She pretty much lives on a cruise ship off and on. I'm always amazed. My mother and my brother are on a cruise right now in the Caribbean. They're 2-week cruise. I got one more week. All right, so back to the beliefs. Like I said, limiting belief number 10, it's too late for me. And this kind of creeps in quietly, dressed up as realism. It whispers, that ship has sailed. You should have figured this shit out by now. People your age don't start over. Other people are already miles ahead of where you are right now. And it ties your worth to a calendar. It confuses your calendar with what is your destiny. Back for 11 weeks, living the dream. Oh my gosh. Heaven's sakes. And then worst of all, it makes you hesitate, not because you can't do something that you want to do, but because you believe you shouldn't. And I've heard people say things like that many times where, well, I can't change my career now because I'm this age and this is what I got. I might as well just stick with it. And the people who say things like, well, I actually had someone telling me the other day, She was, how old is this lady? Ah, hell, I don't remember. I think she might be in her early 70s at the most. And she said that she was glad she traveled when she was young because it was too late for her now. And my mom is on a cruise right now and she is 86, you know? And so I even told her, she said, "Oh, that's amazing. Bless her." But people make reasons why it's too late. So, what's the hidden cost of this belief? It's too late for me. This belief robs you of your presence, the present right now being good, of your potential, and of the very moment you're living in right now, the one that holds new beginnings in its palm. And it's funny as I'm thinking about this because I run into people that say some of the strangest things, and some people say amazing things, right? That's just people. And so, like I said, I had the one that can't travel now because she's too old, she says. And then I had someone else the other day was talking about when her father, he retired early from whatever it was he did, and he had always wanted to be a lawyer. So he decided to go back to school to be an attorney, I guess is the more politically correct thing, but to be an attorney. And he said somebody had said, "Well, oh my gosh, just think of how old you'll be when you graduate." He said, "Well, if it took me 5 years, regardless of whether I went to school or not, I'd still be 5 years older. So I don't see the big deal." And so that's really, really cool too to think about, right? That's somebody that doesn't let this limiting belief hold them back. But a lot of people use it as an excuse not to move. If you have this belief within you, this limiting belief, and it's deep, it's too late for me, you sometimes begin editing yourself down, making your dreams smaller, talking yourself out of things like applying, auditioning, launching, speaking, dating, dreaming. You don't stop because you're tired. You stop because you've decided it's too late to matter. Isn't that sad? But hear this. You're not too late. You're just arriving on time for what's yours. So let's talk about the shift. Your timeline is sacred. Sacred. You're not behind. You're being prepared. And one of the things that I would always say that if we got caught, if we were going somewhere and we got caught in traffic, that's okay, because it just means it's putting us in where we need to be at the right time. Maybe there's an accident right up there waiting on us if we were to go straight on through, and we're going to miss it because we had traffic. Maybe that detour that you end up on the road, then you're going to be late, is going to take you by the most magnificent thing, a house or something that you've ever seen. I feel like that everything in your path that maybe took you longer than what you wanted needed to happen so that you could gather the wisdom, the resilience, and clarity to hold what's coming next. We've talked about this with one of the other limiting beliefs, and I don't remember which one it was. But there are so many people that get something, like we talked about the lottery winners, right? People that win the lottery, what was it, 80%, I don't remember, maybe 90%. 90% of the people who win the lottery are in worse shape than they were before they won the lottery within 1 to 5 years, because they didn't have any growth. They were just thrown into this prosperity that they didn't know how to handle. And so when you're moving forward in your life, looking at what's coming, you got to be grateful, even though some things feel uncomfortable in the delay of them. Find some gratitude, because there's something magical happening when that happens, right? Because maybe the delay was never a detour. Maybe it was actually the design. All right, so try this reframe. Let me check and make sure I'm not leaving anybody not answered. All right, no questions. All right, try this reframe. I'm not starting over. I'm starting from wisdom, from experience, from embodiment, from sovereignty. What you create now won't be fragile. It will be rooted, because it's no longer driven by proving. It's sourced from knowing. Your soul doesn't wear a watch, right? And your purpose didn't expire. You're here, you're breathing. That means the story's still being written. You could change that story however you want to. And this belief, it's too late for me, hits most people as they scroll on socials. And it's really had me thinking a lot about the things underneath what we do and think. And I've realized a lot after doing these January lives with the 11 limiting beliefs. So many of us don't need motivation. We need language for what's actually happening inside us. So in February, there's 28 days in February. So I'm going to do a new limiting belief series, and we're going to dive into it a little bit deeper. But it's happening over on YouTube. So it's 28 days, 28 beliefs that gently, quietly, maybe not so gently, and sometimes maybe not so quietly, but most of the time they hide underneath the surface. They shape our confidence. They shape how we show up with money, how we think about visibility. These won't be hypey, they'll be grounded, short conversations you can come back to when you need them. And if YouTube feels like a good place for you to listen and reflect, that's where I'll be continuing this. So if you're not following me already, make sure you do, at Vicky Sue Poole, and I will see you there starting February 1st. So we've got one more day live here, and then I'll be going over to YouTube, and it's not going to be live on YouTube. I'm actually going to be recording them and putting them up there. And so I'm not quite sure what time I'm going to see how things go, and then I can let you know what time they will be dropping. But I did want to tell you a little bit about this offer that I have right now, the Decision Reset Show. So if this belief right here, it's too late for me, hit like a lump in your throat or a sigh in your chest, and if you've been quietly grieving a dream you think you missed out on, then I want to offer you a lifeline. This session is a 45-minute decision reset session to meet this belief at the root and shift the narrative that says time has run out. And of course, we will look at other beliefs. We'll look to see which one is the most important to tackle first, right? So in this session, we'll identify the exact version of too late that's showing up in your life. And it's usually tied to something deeper. Like I said, we will look, trace how it got installed, and reset it so you're free to move forward, present, and powerful. And this is not just a pep talk, it's a pattern interrupt, and it works fast. The investment's only $149, and for many, it marks the beginning of a new chapter, one that would have stayed buried if they hadn't answered the call. So I'm going to share the link in the comments really quick. Let me do that. Oh. All right, give me just a second. It takes me a second to get it up here. Did it pop up? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, cool. I can see it. So one of the things I want to emphasize to you is it's not too late. It's never too late. And one of the things that I love to do, especially as I'm getting older, is I look for evidence of that everywhere. The people that are older doing miraculous things instead of falling prey to some of those old things of, well, you're just getting older. That's what it is. That's what it's like. No, I'm not going to bow down to that. And I hope you're not either. And I know you don't, Wendy. So like I said, I want to remind you, it's not too late. You didn't miss it. You are the moment. And the moment's now. Now. When's the best time to do something different? Last week. When's the second best time? Right now. And as always, life is delicious. Make sure to savor every single bite. And I will see you here again tomorrow for number 11. The 11 limiting beliefs are what we've been talking about this month. And I wish I'd started at the beginning of the month, but I didn't. So that's okay, right? But we are here now. And I will see you tomorrow with the final limiting belief. And I'm not even going to tell you what that one is, but it's a really good one. Well, it's one that we really want to work with, right? Have a blessed evening, you too, Wendy. Thank you for being here. It was great to see you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.